start to hear the engine almost want to die, but hopefully this will be the final state of the scooter and I no longer have to tinker with it. Okay then guys, so I have received my starter jet from this company here, based in Germany, and it only took about 3 days to arrive, which is amazing. So yeah, Del Auto, which is the same as my Monossi carb, and you see there PHBG, which is the type of carb that I have. This one is a 65, whereas the original, I've already taken the carburetor off. The original that comes with this one is a 55. So it's just here. I was recommended to try about a 65 and go from there. But to be honest, that's the largest number I could find on the starter jet. And it was a bit of a fluke coming across this company here. So yeah, give them a go. They do quite a few bits and pieces which you can't normally tend to find in the UK. So yeah, really, really happy. So let's get it in. Easy enough. Just literally unscrew that and screw that one in. And just like that guys, it is fitted. Easy as that. So I've now allowed the fuel to go in. I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes. Haven't adjusted anything else. So I'm hoping it'll start on the electric start, it will tick over and idle, and it'll be doing that on its own without me having to hold the throttle on ever so slightly. There's a little bit of a side project. I've been working on something. I don't know if it's going to work. I can't see why it wouldn't. I need to figure out how to attach it to the frame, but I've been working on something. Let me show you. So I had an old spanner lying around, bent the end up, made a bracket. I do need to make it a little bit slimmer, I think, and put about a 45-degree bend in it, and then work out a way of attaching a spring. But this is going to be a side stand. So I do have this one that Benny managed to get me from Japan. You've got to bolt it on the frame underneath the footplate, but because I've got the belly pan, I'm going to have to cut out a hole to suit, which is what Benny's also had to do with his. I don't really want to have to do that. And I quite like my quirky random little bits, and that's the whole point of this project really. It doesn't really have to make sense. But if you can just see, I'm going to utilise this bit here. And like I said, it's not, this plate isn't bent yet, but it's going to be either welded or bolted to this bit here. And then once I've worked it out, this can pivot out the way there. And then I can bring it down and I have a random little side stand. And what's good is that where the panel starts about here, or finishes, sorry, about here, if I can work it out, I should be able to dodge, and I think I will, I should be able to dodge the belly pan and yeah, not have to cut anything. And I'll have a little side stand. So what that means is the scooter can sit and actually have its correct stance, I suppose let's call it, with it being low, instead of it being kicked up on the back because of the centre stand. Now I'll keep the centre stand because it is useful, but yeah, I kind of want it to be sat, and I quite like the fact it can be tilted, and they all look really good when the scooters are like that. So that is the plan. That is something I'm going to work on. I need to work out the length, because I don't know if this spanner is going to be a bit long, but if it is, what I will simply do is angle it out more, which means then it will sit the scooter lower, and then when I work out that angle, I can work out this so it becomes straight, and then weld, or as I said, bolt, but probably weld that to that. Now unfortunately I only have it's hidden just there, but I only have a stick welder, which is messy and isn't the greatest. But there is a friend who is a welder, and a mobile welder at that. So I'm going to have a word with him, see if he can bring his van and get this tacked on for me. I think it'll be a cool little thing. So just to find a spring, I've got a bolt just here. I'll work out whether that needs to be welded at the back. And then I need to weld a little stopper. So when this pivots out, it won't go any further. So obviously the bike will fall over. But yeah, I need to work all that out first. Somehow bend this thick plate. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that. This is just some mild steel. So with lots of heat, and I might just do a very light slit in here, and then I can bend it, and then I can put a weld in the slit so it's strong again. But yeah, just a random little side project. So here we are then, guys. The scooter is out. Now, we did a little bit of looking over yesterday, so the spark plug was really wet. I did try and start it before I videoed it, just to see how it would react. And I managed to get it starting, but all of about 5 to 10 seconds, and then it cut out and wouldn't start again. So I removed the plug and it was very wet. We played about with the carburetor ever so slightly to at least get it started again once we had dried out the spark plug, which we have done. But this in theory is the first proper start, and I'm hoping that everything's good. And if it is, I'm going to get all the panels back on. I'm going to have a look at, hopefully this time, and I think I've said it before, but hopefully this will be the final state of the scooter, and I no longer have to tinker with it, and all I have to do now is complete my CBT, and this thing would be ready for the road. It's idling. All on its own. So that 65 starter jet that I fitted must be doing its job. So this has been running for no more than 2 minutes, and that's with me holding it, because I think it did want to cut out unless I was holding it on ever so slightly. That was with the choke on also. What I've done differently this time is I've left the choke on for that little bit longer, and as you start to hear the engine almost want to die. I don't know if that's because it's maybe taking too much air or fuel. So I shut the choke off, gave it a couple of very, very light revs, let go of the throttle, and it's idling perfectly. It's around 1500 going on the gauge. But it sounds perfect. That's the best I've ever had it running on its own without me having to intervene. I'm buzzing. All of this work, I was so worried that it just wasn't going to want to work. But good old Japanese reliability always comes good in the end. So I'm going to let that actually run just like that for about 10 minutes. I'm going to go up and down the farm. I'm going to see how well this pulls. If needs be, I will mess with the mixture screw. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So yeah, once I've done that, I'm going to get all the panels back on, get the spoiler back on, and I'm going to have the final look, because with that front basket as well, and also you guys may have noticed that I've put the Japanese flag back on. I just like the difference in the colour. There was a lot of 7-Up stuff, which it is a 7-Up livery scooter. But I love the little Japanese sunset flag, so that's going to stay for now. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys when hopefully I can go up and down the yard and it runs without wanting to cut out. think you'll find, whew, that is the best it's ever ran. God, that's fun. That's so fun. Do you know what? It seems like a lifetime to get here. It really does. And I'm so grateful for all you guys following this little journey, because the comments, just everything, it's the advice, it all genuinely helps. And knowing that you guys enjoy this and it actually encourages you to go out and buy something like this to have a go yourself, that is incredible, and I love it. And I do it out of pure enjoyment. And if you guys learn from it, because I certainly am, then it's worth it. So thank you so, so much. I'm confident. Let's get all the panels on. Quick shout out to Gianni as well. I've received these today. I'd love to support all small businesses, and Gianni is producing some great attire at the moment. He does all sorts, from stickers, air fresheners to clothing. So a quick shout out to him and a massive thank you, because these came in no time at all. And I do love his graphics. So a t-shirt is definitely going to be next on order for sure. So yeah, I'll put his website down here. Please go and check him out and support him, because yeah, great little business. And there's something I just randomly want to quickly show you guys that I'm so proud of. And yeah, it's got great interest online where I post it on my socials. And it's something that my mum did for me. And yeah, it's a bit random, but I love it. Let me show you. So this is a I think it's an early 1980s deck. I think originally it was an Action Man stickered up or livery painted, whatever it was, skateboard. Had it for years and never knew what I ought to do to it. So yeah, she's put my Instagram down there, which is in Japanese, Spanner86. And I just said, look, I want something Japanese, bit of cherry blossom, red sun. Painted my little A86, which is awesome. And some Japanese mountains, just incredible. My mum is such a good painter. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys because I'm so proud. This is something that I can keep for a lifetime. So yeah, I inverted the trucks, so they now sit on top. So it is super low. It's kind of just to, I don't know, go with the 86 at certain shows. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys that because so chuffed. And on the subject of appreciation, I just want to thank everyone that's subscribed recently and is subscribed since I started this channel. It's a bit of fun, keeps me busy, and I just like showing you and sharing with you guys what it is I do. It may not be the best, and I may not always be correct, but there's always those out there which are more than willing to help me out and give me advice, and I appreciate all of you so much. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out. It encourages me to do more. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching and sharing this silly little journey with me down my shed. And yeah, plenty more to come in the future. I'm not quite sure what yet. It's always a bit random how my mind works. I see something and I think, that's my next project. So who knows what's next. But yeah, thank you all so much. Just wanted to show you this little project I'm doing. So these covers, the original ones were quite short because they come in two halves, but I can only run the one because the other half would fall into the larger one. Because I don't run a spring, I run skateboard bushes. So I made these out of a bit of pipe. So I fitted that one, but this is what I have. So this was the original one, the outer sleeve. And as I said, this would slide over this one. But I've made these, and it's literally out of a bit of plastic tubing. And I recessed the inside of this and then glued in a washer, which I've oversized to slide over the damper. But you can see the size difference just there. So it just covers all of the damper. It's cost me literally a couple of quid for all of these parts. And it's just, they're a bit slimmer as well, which is nice. But yeah, just something I wanted to do. Now, whether I paint these, I don't know. I quite like the grey, which is how they are standard. I've just gone over with a Scotch pad. But yeah, just another little thing I'm working on. And as you can see here, it now goes all the way up to the top and then all the way down and sits on the bottom on the yoke, just down there. So yeah, another little detail, very minor, but just tidies the whole thing up. Okay then guys, I've just got back from Jay's, who is a lad off the Gensuki forum, and a very nice lad at that, so thank you so much. The reason that I've gone to see him is because I needed a stator, or possibly need a stator. So the scooter is running fine, and it starts up, but I had it running yesterday, and it just started playing up again, and I can't understand why. So I removed the spark plug, and I'm actually getting a really weak spark. I put the original coil on, used a different spark plug, and I was getting the same result, just a really weak spark. I haven't replaced the CDI with the original just to see if that makes a difference, which I will do. But I think it might be the stator's now failing. I mean, it's 38 years old, and I think now the stator is possibly starting to fail. I do have spark, it's just really weak. So maybe that's where my running issues are coming in. It just doesn't seem to be burning the fuel enough, and I keep getting a slightly wet plug. So I assume if it's not sparking and not igniting the fuel, that's why it's sitting on the bottom of the plug. But it was cheap. He's very local. So I thought I'd pick it up and I'd give it a go. So I'm going to have a go at doing that. And I just hope it fixes the issue, because I had it running so well literally a couple of days ago. So well. One of the things he also suggested is to look at my air filter. Now, I did have the standard air filter on, but without the front cover, and I got it running really well. So maybe I need to keep on that. I could drill a couple of holes in the front cover, so when I put it on, it's still drawing enough air. But he seems to think that some of the issues with these AF05 engines is that it doesn't like being restricted of air. So he said maybe just put a bit of mesh on the front of the carburetor and run it like that, which I know some of the guys on the forum do. So maybe that's it. Maybe I'm not getting the engine hot enough, and I think that probably is the case, to be fair. It can easily get to 120, 130 degrees, and I'm only getting it at around 70, 80. So I might still be running it that little bit too rich. But honestly, I don't know. I'm learning every step of the way with this scooter. And I know that two strokes can be a pain to fine tune. So I need to strip and clean the stator, which I've just received off Jay, make sure that's in good condition. And I'll try it on the engine and see what results we get. But I'll show you those results in the next video. So as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.